Damage 365 Radio. The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Welcome back after that short commercial break from sponsors of Damage 365 Radio. So, of course, best and worst of the NBA this season. Going to hand out a couple of awards, a couple of, we'll call them mainstream awards, such as Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player. Also some worsts, like Most Disappointing Player, Most Disappointing Team. So we'll get into a bunch of that. First let me say there's a couple I'm not going to talk about, starting with the MVP. Pretty much unanimously, everyone believes Steph Curry will win that. His numbers have improved from last season when he won MVP. You didn't think that was possible, but, he's already obliterated his three-pointers made in a season. Golden State's going for the all-time best regular season record. There's other candidates such as Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, even Draymond Green, but pretty much undoubtedly, Steph Curry will receive the award. Then Rookie of the Year, it's going to have to go to Karl Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves, easily putting up the best numbers nightly. Of course, there's someone like Kristaps Porzingis, gotten a lot of hype, and deservedly so, has, played better than anyone's expectations this season for the New York Knicks. He'll be a distant second, though. The award undoubtedly belongs to Karl Anthony Towns. Other solid rookies this year include Miles Turner of Indiana and Jahlil Okafor of the 76ers. So, those are two awards that pretty much everyone is in agreement with, that Towns will win Rookie of the Year and Steph Curry will win MVP. So let's get into some of the other awards, starting off with Coach of the Year. And there just seems to be a lot of options, for the Coach of the Year this season. A lot of coaches have done an excellent job. One guy who, seemingly goes under the radar for Coach of the Year just because his team excels every single season. So you almost don't think of him as Coach of the Year. You think of it as someone whose team overachieved, did better than anyone expected. But, if you ask most people who the best current coach in the NBA is, Greg Popovich, and Spurs 65-14, has seamlessly plugged in LaMarcus Aldridge into the Spurs lineup, and when some people question whether he would be the right fit for the Spurs, team-oriented offense, he's played very well over the past 2 or 3 months. And, so you got Popovich, got to be mentioned. Golden State, yes, they're going for the all-time best regular season record. But, it's kind of hard to give a guy like Steve Kerr Coach of the Year when, I'm assuming he's going to coach the final 2 games. That will be 38 games of the 82 that he's coached this year. Right now he's 31-5. Luke Walton, his interim coach, while he was sidelined with back issues, is 39-4. Went 39-4 to start the season. So, I can't really, consider Kerr to be a favorite when he hasn't even coached half the season. I know a lot of the things Luke Walton did, was Steve Kerr telling him what to do, but, he just wasn't on the sidelines long enough to really be my Coach of the Year. Another guy, Brad Stevens, Boston Celtics, 47-33. You hear how they don't have a superstar on that team, but Brad Stevens has them playing hard every day. Isaiah Thomas has taken that step where he's very close to being considered a superstar. I think some people still doubt him because of his 5'9" stature. But, he's putting up 20 points nightly every game. So, definitely the key piece on that Celtics team. And, just some key defensive players such as Jay Crowder and Avery Bradley. So, Boston, definitely has been a great team this year at 47-33. May get a first round home matchup. You got Dwayne Casey leading Toronto to their first 50-win season of their career. They're currently 53-26. Of course, what people want to see is them advance past the first round of playoffs. Last year they were the 4th seed going into the playoffs, and they got swept by the 5th-seeded Washington Wizards. So definitely need a better playoff first round, and definitely at least advance to the second round. Hopefully, Eastern Conference Finals for their sake. 2nd seed in the East. Heading into the playoffs. There's a guy like Rick Carlisle. Dallas has had, a roster that's been filled with injuries, yet he's got him at 41-38 on the verge of making the playoffs, possibly as high as the 5th seed in the West. They still got Dirk, but Wesley Matthews hasn't played like he did in Portland with that injury he sustained last year. And then we got Steve Clifford. He's got the Charlotte Hornets at 46-34. They could fit in anywhere from the 4th to 6th seed in the East. He's got Kemba Walker playing at an all-star level. They've been missing Al Jefferson most of the year. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist only played a handful of games. Yet here they are, shown much improvement from last season. So, there's definitely a lot of options for that Coach of the Year. Really, any of these guys could win. My choice, though, goes to Terry Stotts of the Portland Trailblazers. Currently has the Trailblazers as the 5 seed. They only have 1 game remaining. They're 43-38. Las Vegas before the season picked them over under something like 27.5. They lost 4 of their starters. Wesley Matthews went to Dallas. Robin Lopez went to the Knicks. LaMarcus Aldridge, of course, their key piece, went to the San Antonio Spurs. And Nicholas Batum got traded to the Charlotte Hornets. And they also lost Aaron Flalo, who they traded for to replace Batum when he got hurt last year. Flalo went to the Knicks as well. Yeah, here they are. No one expected them to be any type of threat to make the playoffs. And they're clinched, and they'll, be either a 5 or 6 seed most likely. So, Terry Stotts gets my vote for NBA Coach of the Year for the job he's done with the Portland Trailblazers, who lost the majority of their team last year and still have fought tooth and nail every game, beat the Warriors earlier this season. It's definitely done a great job. 6th Man of the Year. Few options here as well. We got Will Barton of the Denver Nuggets. He's only started 1 game, 79, come off the bench, averaging 14.5 points, 5.8 rebounds. The one downside, a couple of downsides to him is that his team is far out of the playoff race. Even though Denver hasn't played terribly this year, I believe they're the 10th seed in the West. But you look at his numbers after the All-Star break, they've declined as well. 12.4 points and 5.4 rebounds in 26 games after the All-Star game. But he's got 18 games this season of at least 20 points off the bench, so he's definitely been a great scorer off the bench and definitely an honorable mention. Another guy, Ryan Anderson, much like Barton, hard to pick him when his team is nowhere near the playoff race, and, the Pelicans were definitely expected to be because they were their 8th seed last year. Anderson's played 66 games, started 7 of them, averaged 17 points, 6 rebounds in 30.4 minutes per game, made about 37% of his threes, but he hasn't played the last 12 games, won't play the remaining games of the season. He's had 19 games of at least 20 points off the bench, so, good season for Ryan Anderson. I know he'll be a free agent next year, so, should get a fairly large contract. Evan Turner of the Boston Celtics. He's played in 79 games, 67 of them coming off the bench. Just great all-around game, 10.4 points, 4.9 rebounds, 4.5 assists, a steal in 28 minutes per game. He's only had 2 games over 20 points, but, he could handle the point guard. When Isaiah Thomas is on the bench, he plays very good defense. And when he's needed to score, he has. And, he's been a key cog for a Celtics team that is going to come close, but not quite reach 50 wins this season. We got Enes Kanter of the Oklahoma City Thunder. 80 games this season's only started one, but, 12.7 points, 8.1 rebounds on 58% shooting, and he's doing that in just 20.8 minutes per game. So he's not even playing half the game, and, still putting up pretty good numbers. He's had 10 games over 20 points off the bench, 21 double-doubles off the bench. His defense isn't the greatest, but, he just provides rebounding and excellent scoring around the basket for Oklahoma City. We got Andre Iguodala, last season's NBA Finals MVP. Only started one game this year, 62 off the bench. His numbers won't, jump off the page at you. 7.2 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.1 steals. Missed 13 straight games before playing in the previous 3, but, he still provides great defense. Isn't asked to score the ball, with guys like Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. So he's definitely played a key role in what could be a historic season for the Golden State Warriors. Those are my honorable mentions. Also, Drew Holiday, real quick, 23 starts, but 42 games off the bench, 16.8 points and 6 assists. He's missed the last 7. He'll miss the rest of the season due to an eye injury. But my vote goes for who I believe should now become the first 3-time winner of the Sixth Man of the Year award. I know Crawford shares the honor with 2, with, I believe, Ricky Pierce, Detlef Schrempf, and maybe one other person. But, Jamal Crawford this season, 78 games, 5 games started, 14.1 points per game, leads the NBA with 91.3% free throw shooting. He's had 15 games of at least 20 off the bench. He's played better since the All-Star game, rising his scoring average to 15.2 points per game. It's crazy to believe that Jamal Crawford is in his 16th NBA season. A position like shooting guard where athleticism is, definitely needed. Even at 35 years old, he's still going strong. I believe he should become the first ever 3-time winner of the Sixth Man of the Year award. Then we got the most improved player. Most people are actually picking the same guy, and I'm going to agree with them. I'll get to him in a minute. Let me go through a few honorable mentions, starting with Jay Crowder of the Celtics. Seen his minutes increase from 31.7 to 31.7 this year from 20.1 the previous season per game. His scoring has went from 14.4 this season. That compared to 7.7 last season. Big difference. Doubling his steal input 1.8 to 0.9. His shooting numbers are better across the board, and arguably the second best player on this Celtics team that could be the 4th seed in the East, even possibly a 3rd. Draymond Green, a guy who got a max contract this past offseason. How has he improved? I mean, look at his numbers. First, if we look at his assists, last season he averaged 3.7. He's doubled that this year, 7.4 assists per game. He's gotten many triple doubles this year. His scoring has improved. He's averaging more than one more rebound per game. His shooting numbers are better across the board. It's not in many more minutes. He's averaging about 3 more minutes per game this season than he did last year. So, Draymond Green's improved and, arguably maybe a top 10 player in the NBA right now. It's definitely arguable. Some may argue for it and some may argue it against it. But, there's no denying that Draymond Green has stepped up his game even more this season. And then we got Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, who has been getting triple-doubles galore over the past 3 or 4 weeks. The Bucks have been somewhat of a disappointment this year, but you can't deny that Giannis has improved his game quite a bit. Scoring's up over 4 points. Assists are up about 2. His shooting numbers are better across the board. Look at his field goal percentage, 50.9. Still not quite a reliable three-point shooter, only making 25.5% this year, but that's still an upgrade over the 15.9 he made last year.